What are the pros and cons of different foundation types, of having a crawl space versus having slab on grade construction? Let's go into it. If you have a crawl space, there's several advantages. Builders don't like it because it costs more to build a home with a crawl space. It's much cheaper to build a home on a slab. A crawl space is going to allow you quick, easy accessibility under the building in case you have leaks. They're going to be easier to spot, easier to repair. The downside is you have this void where moisture can come up and make the whole home colder. It can give a bounciness to the floors and change the sound, the feel, and also cause heat loss through the floor. So it can reduce heating efficiency. You can have rodents tunnel themselves into your crawl space and create infestations, and you can have beetles, rats, termites, all sorts of things. If you have slab on grade and you have a leak, you better hope that the leak is somewhere off the side of the house near an irrigation box, because if the leak is coming from the house, we're talking, for example, I had the utility guy come over here and he told me essentially these lines run under the slab this direction. I just got a quote this morning for $20,000, and that was just to reroute the line from the main water main over inside the garage. And that was assuming they thought that the leak was coming in one place, but it's really hard to find a leak when you have a slab. Here in Nevada, you have certain types of pests, which can be a problem, but I'll say it straight up. I think from my experience as a property manager, as a real estate agent, there's much less concern with a property that has a crawl space. You want a crawl space because, for example, your average plumbing leak can be addressed and fixed so quickly. We're talking $1,000. Now, if you have a leak on a slab, you have copper pipes and you have settlement at the foundation and they bend, crack. This happens. It's very common. Then you're talking $20,000, $30,000. It's really bad. So right now, after several opinions, someone said they believe it was coming from here. I did some digging, and thank God, it looks like it's probably coming from here. So if I go down another 3-4 feet, pump out this water, I should be able to come to a junction of different PVC pipes where one of those is cracked and leaking. If there's still a leak that goes and it's under the slab, realistically, what you're probably going to have to do is reroute the water line. And this is not a DIY channel. This is just an FYI video. Here in Northern Nevada, there's a lot of homes on slab. Okay, if you're buying a home on slab, what do you need to know? What you want to know is the type of pipes going underneath the house. Try to find blueprints or plans, anything that will indicate exactly where those pipes go. So in the event there's a leak, you know exactly where you need to go. And your chances of leak are going to be much lower if you're using PEX pipe versus copper pipe underneath that slab. An expert who is here says it's less likely that PVC is going to leak from the water main to the house. From his experience, those leaks typically occur at junctions. So I'm not there yet, but there's going to be a massive junction. It looks like I'm onto it. I've already potentially saved $20 to $30 or $50,000. If you just listened to what these experts have to say, you're done for. Like they'll bankrupt you. They'll write whatever they want. These guys also wanted to have the line go further than it needed to go. They wanted it to go all the way from the street over there, all the way to here, to the end of the garage, because that would keep it from freezing. Now, let's think about that. The line has to be on the outside already. So it's going to be outside here, or it's going to be outside over there 18 feet. That additional 18 feet could cost another $10,000 to trench. But it's the exact same thing. There's no real difference in the line being here versus over there, except for there it's less trenching, less money. Logically, it makes no sense. What you can do is you bring the line up. We're talking about rerouting the main water line. You reroute it, you connect a new line, and then you trench. And then what you do is not here. Let's talk about what the smart thing would have been, which I might not need to do this either. Okay, so now we're talking trenching from there to here to the front of the garage. And then we go up there, and now we're talking, what is this? Less than 20 feet. And then we come in here, we insulate the line, and here's the interesting one. You put on the line, you wrap on the line. Inside of it, there's a thermostat controlled heater on the line, and it kicks on at approximately 55 degrees. And that keeps the line warm when it's cold and keeps it from freezing. So if you're buying a house and you're getting a crawl space, that's great. Understand where you are. You're on a slope. Is water going to accumulate? If so, you need a vapor barrier. The vapor barrier will block pests. It'll block moisture intrusion. It'll trap heat. It'll keep it from getting moldy in there. So the vapor barrier is really huge, but it might not be a vapor barrier that you need. It depends on where you live. Sometimes vapor barriers aren't good to use. So it's really important to really be educated about your area and specifically what's good for your crawl space. Slabs can be okay, but if your home is older, the pipes aren't good, and there's no information on which direction they go, it's risky. So understand the pipes. If you're getting copper pipes underneath your slab, they go across the driveway, or you have no idea, it's a serious gamble. Now I've had a serious education about where leaks are, how to look for them, how to troubleshoot these leaks. I'm skeptical about slabs. I'm not crazy about slabs. I'll probably take a crawl space over a slab. Crawl spaces have their issues. I personally am not a fan of, I've been in crawl spaces where there's cold coming up and they suck up the heat. The floors are cold because you have cold air under there. You know, you can insulate it, but then when you walk, boom, 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 it has a hollow sound. So just be aware that there's pros and cons to both. Beware if you buy a home on a slab foundation. Understand the pipes that go underneath it. Try to get plans of exactly where those pipes are, the types of pipes. Understand your plumbing system, and even run those by a plumber and look for areas where you might have issues. You actually can call the utility company and just ask them. They might be able to do it for a home that's not even yours. And just tell them you're a prospective buyer on a home. I'm here digging in muck, trying to get to the bottom of this disaster. And these top plumbing companies, they didn't check, they didn't ask questions, they didn't answer questions. They just come here and just write a big fat bill, and they'll stick it in your face and ask you to pay it, and they'll call you crazy if you don't. And then you get someone else and they tell you something completely different. So you're going to want to get at least 3 estimates for anything plumbing related that's going to cost more than $500. You know, if you have a clogged toilet, that's one thing. But if you have a leak, you're going to need to talk to multiple people. You're going to want to get the leak isolated. There's a lot of technologies you can use as well. There's ways that you can use radar inside on the slab to detect where the pipes are going. And there's some methods of doing that, and you can do moisture tests, things like that. But there's no guarantees. So if you guys have any questions, you need any help, or if you're looking to buy a home, Northern Nevada or anywhere in the US, give me a call and I'll slip on my professional clothes. I'm gonna get out there and I'll get dirty for you. I'll get clean for you. I'll do whatever it takes for you. We originally thought that the leak was coming from the left where the irrigation valves were. But then the guy from the water company came out and helped me dig up the water main elbow from the street to the house. And that's where the leak was. It was repaired and I saved $20,000.